Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. If any brothers and sisters have any questions, specifically those pertaining to the class, and we'll try to take them now, inshallah ta'ala. Fadl Shaykh.
Is khawf, fear, and taqwa, are they the same thing or are they different?
Clear. Khawf and taqwa, are they the same thing? Sometimes they can be interchangeable. Sometimes they can be synonymous. And other times they're different. So first and foremost is, many scholars hold the view is that there aren't any synonyms in the Quran. Some scholars, they say there's no two words in the Quran that have the exact same meaning. And every word has its own unique meaning, place, and usage. That's first and foremost. As far as words being interchangeable, then for sure, a Muslim and a mu'min, if they're mentioned separately, then they have different levels. But if one is mentioned, then it includes the other levels. So, taqwa of Allah is mentioned by itself, khashya, tawbah, good deeds, salah, etc., etc. But here Allah says taqwa, sabr, khashya, rahba, raghba, then it has a specific usage. So it depends on how it's used. And that's the general rule for the tafsir of the Quran as a whole. And Allah knows best. Wallahu a'lam. Shams.
Can you give one or two examples of how Allah leaves you to yourself?
Give one or two examples of how Allah leaves you to yourself. Allah musta'an.
You said it was sign.
Clear. Well, one sign, as what some of the people of the past would say, من علامات إعراض الله عن العبد أن يشغله فيما لا يعنيه. From the signs that Allah has turned away from a servant, and that the servant is in control of himself, is that Allah busies that servant with that which doesn't concern him. That's very common. Scandal, tabloids, this one, that one, flan, your life, his life. Everything but your own. Everything but your own soul. And that's a problem that many of us, we suffer from, the spiritual or the moral high ground. You know, talking down upon other people, you're this, from up here, from down there, without looking at yourself. That's a sign. And another sign is the concept that from the signs that Allah has forsaken you, billah, is the shaitan being your ally, your friend, the person that you find comfort in, and hearing his words, hearing his recitation, whatever that may be, and not the recitation of Allah, the words of Allah, being in the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the company that you keep, how a person feels irritated and agitated, being in the dhikr of Allah. You don't feel comfortable. You feel like the fish out of water instead of the opposite. May Allah protect us all. Anything else from the brothers or the sisters here? AH from Queens, New York. Can you do another shalqi twice before marriage due to lack of attraction the first time? I don't know what that is. Another shalqi. BT from Bronx. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. To you and the Muslims at Mashi Mujahideen. Sheikh, what is the name of the Ibn al-Qayyim book you were reading from? The name of the book is called Tahdhibu Madarij as-Salikin fi Manazili Iyaka na'budu wa Iyaka nasta'in. The book is available in English. I'm unsure if the original translation or the summarized version that I was reading from is translated, but it is in English. And it's Ibn al-Qayyim's explanation of the book of Al-Harawi with regards to the dimensions and the depths of that ayah from Surah Al-Fatiha. Tahdhibu Madarij as-Salikin. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam. UH from Long Island, New York. Assalamu alaikum. Abu Ramla. Is it permissible to pray Isha after midnight? A sheikh said you can, but I read a hadith that the time of Isha is until midnight. Can you please provide reference? Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. In brief, you are allowed to make Salat al-Isha until Salat al-Fajr, based off of many texts. from those texts, لَيْسَ فِي النَّوْمِ تَفْرِيطٌ. The hadith says, a person sleeping isn't a means of sin. You sleep, you miss the prayer because you were asleep. لَيْسَ فِي النَّوْمِ تَفْرِيطٌ. إِنَّمَا تَفْرِيطُ. Rather, a person being held responsible, falling short, is he who doesn't pray a prayer. He sleeps, he misses the prayer until the next prayer comes in. And obviously, there is no man's land of the time. Salatul Fajr, the sun isn't rising or setting. So from Isha until Fajr is all time for Isha. It's not like Asr and Maghrib, Fajr and Zuhr, the time that you can't pray. Understand? So that's one view, that's one opinion. And of course, the scholars of Islam, they differ. Some say is that you aren't allowed to make it after the middle of the night, not midnight. 12 a.m. is not what's meant by the hadith, muntasiful layl. The middle of the Islamic night, the lunar calendar night. Half of the time from Maghrib to Fajr coming in. Now, moving forward. So therefore, some say is that that's the latest you can make Isha. However, I would say, I will follow the opinion that you're allowed to make Isha until Fajr. You not delaying Isha unnecessarily past that time, different discussion. Wallahu alam. A.M. from Phoenix, Arizona. What takes priority in Salah when it comes to clean clothes versus timing? If time for Salah will pass before being able to change clothes, should they pray or wait? I would pray if I was stuck between a rock and a hard place. I would pray on time with the dirty clothes. The precedence of the time, or time, the condition of the time, in this instance would trump and take precedence over the clean clothes. And there are many other issues over which the scholars of Islam differ with regards to what comes first, praying on time or getting the water for tayammum, or the water without tayammum, etc. But to keep things brief and simple, if it was me, if there was no way I could do both, I would pray on time with the dirty clothes. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam. Move forward. A.H. from Queens, New York. Is your nephew's son, moving forward to the next question. Khair, inshallah, we'll stop here tonight. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should knows best. Sallallahu alaihi wa sallam wa barak ala abdihi wa rasulih nabina wa imamina Muhammad.